Okay, so let's see. Then I see Becky's hand up, so we'll jump to Becky and then we'll go down the chat.
Hi, Tad. I'm Becky, and this is Wilder.
Hey,
He's 2
Wilder.
months old.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to join us on the call. Okay, so I have a question regarding content. Specifically, do you have any recommendations on like publishing an article on a platform like Medium versus other platforms? And by other, I mean kind of like your typical platforms that you think of for like health and wellness related content.
Such as?
I don't know. I wouldn't like attempt to get published on these yet, but just like the bigger magazines
Oh, I see.
or yeah, you know what I mean? Is there a preference as a new coach, whether you publish on Medium or one of those other platforms when you're trying to like expand your audience?
Right. Okay. I don't feel like I'm an expert in this, but I do have a few thoughts. It's a big question. Where do you put your content? Because let's just say there are three kind of options. One is you can put it on, well, four. You can put it on your site directly, just on your website. You can put it on social media of the various types. You can put it on something like a Medium or Substack, something like that, where there's no particular niche. It's a lot of topics, but it's more the platform. And number four is you could go for a very niche, like one of these, big magazines, and maybe they have online content that's not even in the magazine, or you can even try to get in the magazine and that. So let's say there's those four types generally. And where do you put it? If it doesn't hurt your not CEO, your SEO, you don't put it, maybe you put it in all those places. And some people have restrictions, some don't. Some platforms, if you publish it there, you're not allowed to publish it. So that's one criteria to think about. But the main thing I would do is if you're thinking, okay, I want to grow my audience. Well, you know that everyone who's already publishing there, who's already a regular contributor, that's why they're doing it too. They're probably not just doing it because they can't help it and they need to write, and these people give them place. So I would reach out to them and just say, hey, does this help you grow your platform? I'm thinking about this platform, does it help? If you see people placing ads in, the local holistic magazine, call them before you place an ad there and say, do you ever get business from this? Call a few of them, particularly people who do something similar to what you do. Just see, is this working for people? Yeah, and that could be in terms of Medium or in terms of these, but particularly in terms of the magazines, because often also with these, I find these higher profile things, sometimes it's a pay to play thing. It's like, yeah, you can write an article, but you also need to buy an ad. So just good to see, does it work? Is anyone getting anything from this? And I would probably lean towards things like Medium or Substack. But if you can get on a platform of your ideal clients and get in front of them, I mean, the Substack Medium is immediate and instant.
Yeah.
But part of it is if you can find a platform, a magazine that has your perfect people, then of course you want to get on that. But I would just reach out to them and say, what's the deal? What's required to become a contributor to your site? In terms of, sometimes maybe they want regular content, maybe they want you to spend money, maybe they want exclusive content and use, and I would just find out what are the hoops I have to jump through for this to happen.
Okay.
Because if you find that the other contributors, it does help their business and it's your people, then it's probably worth investing a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the thing I would say, this is so important. Yes, writing up the content is important, having good content and all that, and that could, but the next thing is, well, then what? They see your article and then what? What's the next step? And it's really important to think this through. Because oftentimes what will happen is people think, oh, I just, I got on Oprah and now it's going to happen. But no, you don't have a website. You don't have you don't have any kind of, not, sales funnel is kind of the elementary school version of it, but you don't have a sales, you don't have a next step for them. You don't have anything for them to take advantage of, right? And as Amber saying, no pink spoon, like in the ice cream shop, no way for them to sample your work beyond that.
Mhm.
Now, of course, if you're contributing and you've got lots of articles, they can click on your name and they'll see all your articles. But then if they're, oh, what's next? I want to learn more about this person. Yeah, do you have a website? Do you have a free offer of some kind? So on my website, people enter their email and they get the starter kit, which if you haven't checked it out, it's the full footage of my day-long workshop. So, there's that's available. And then does that thing lead to something? Because sometimes what happens is people try to open the floodgates and they open the sluice and the water comes through and it's great, but then the water just evaporates immediately. So it is good to think through, okay, if they do this, then what's the next step? And then from that, what's the next step? And to really get clear on what do we ultimately want? Do we want to be doing group work? Do we want to be doing one-on-one work? Do we want to be doing high touch stuff, low touch stuff? What's the ultimate place we want to get people? Because some people don't like doing one-on-one. Some people love doing one-on-one. And so if you decide, no, I really want to be doing, I've got a membership I want to fill up, okay, then everything should lead to the membership. But if it's no, it's the one-on-one therapy work I want to do, then everything should lead to that. So those are some thoughts.
Okay, thank you so much, Ted.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining.
Yeah. Say thank you, Wilder.
Well, thank you, Wilder. You're welcome. All right. Yeah, well, Benedict is saying, struggling with the niche. Yeah, boy, the niche is a big thing. And it's probably not something we can really nail down in a short coaching session. But yes, Benedict, if you have a more specific question, maybe we can get to around niche, because that's the wild beast. That's the that's a big one. If there's something more specific, or you have one you'd want to run by us, please feel free to put that in the chat. Yes, Michelle Kennelly also struggling with discovering my niche. I'll say this around discovering your niche. So first of all, with the puttering sessions I do, which are, oops, that didn't work. The puttering sessions are the best thing I have, I think, around helping people figure out their niche. They're all sold out right now. There's just no spots available until August. But there is this. So if you go to this link, this will take you to the puttering prep. So these are the most useful exercises that I have that I give to people who are booking a puttering, because almost every puttering session people book is about niching. And these are the exercises I give. So if you're struggling with your niche, this is the first thing I do, is go and do these exercises. If you're still struggling after that, feel free to go to my YouTube and maybe somebody will be able to grab the link, but there's a playlist called just like exercises for niching, something like this. And there's 40, 50 of these exercises. And you can just start to work through those. Yeah, you can start to delve into them. The biggest thing I can recommend around niching is look at it as a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, if you're able to talk to a coach and they can help you, or some colleague helps you get some quick, great. But it's more realistic to look at it as a marathon, or to think of it as a practice. Instead of thinking of niching as a result you get to and then you're done, you wouldn't say, yeah, man, I nailed yoga. Went to this workshop and nailed the whole yoga thing. Oh, so you're doing it regularly? No, didn't you hear me? I nailed it. I went to this meditation workshop. They had like a 2-hour meditation. I nailed it in 25 minutes. Boom. You wouldn't think that, because yoga and meditation are practices. They're things that we do ongoingly. Amber, thank you so much. We got the niching exercises playlist in there. So these are practices. The benefit of yoga is not that you do it all at once. It's that you do a little bit every day. You push yourself, but not too much. And then over time, the benefits accrue. And it's the same with niching. That's the most solid way to think about niching, is as a practice. You could do a lot worse than if you're really struggling, you want to just handle your niche every day, maybe 5 days a week. You pick one of those exercises and do it. You set aside an hour, you do the exercise. It probably won't even take an hour for each of those exercises. And you just do it and do it and do it. Every once in a while, you stop, reflect on everything you've written for those exercises, and see if you can weave something together. You will be amazed what you would have at the end of a couple months. Your niche would be in a very different place. And it's just, or you could sit and try to do them all at once if you're in that mood, but much more reliable and stable to just do a little bit every day. Yeah. Okay.